Good morning, First Baptist. This is Pastor Brooks with your Friday Fuel. God is leading us today to look at a scripture in the second chapter of James, the universal epistle, the Catholic epistle, which speaks to what should be the standards of behavior for God's people in the church. And it talks about the sin of favoritism. And sometimes the church, universal, ends up abandoning blessings because we look at people in a certain way and believe they ought to come to us in a certain way. And I say to you today that God will send you angels unaware. So we have to be careful of how we interact and act with people. Our whispers, our careless whispers behind people's backs, and the things that we do when our conduct is not exemplary. And so God is calling us to embrace the whole, the whosoever. People come with all sorts of issues. Matter of fact, people are in the church who have been in church for years who have issues. But despite our issues, God is able to use us. He could use a hothead like Peter. He could use a man like Paul, who was once a sinner who persecuted the church. He can use anyone he wants to. He could use someone like Rahab. He could use people like Mary Magdalene. He can use you and me. But let's be careful of what crosses our mind and comes out of our mouths, because the church belongs to the Lord. It's not up for us to vet or to end up trying to look at people's backgrounds. We invite people in as they are, with the belief that if they stay with us long enough, or they're part of the church long enough, that they will fulfill their purpose for the kingdom. Be careful of what comes out of your mouth. Be careful of how you interact with people, because God has given us a command to love our neighbor and to love our enemy. That's not a suggestion, and that doesn't come from Pastor Brooks. That comes from the God who sits high and looks low. He sat high and looked low when he called you and when he called me. Don't become so big that you forget where you've come from. Listen, God bless you. This has been your Friday Fuel. My prayer is that you will choose to join us on Sunday morning, whether it be in the Cyber Sanctuary or you decide to come to our in-person worship at the 3440 Minnesota Avenue in Southeast Washington, D.C. I'm telling you now, you are not a visitor, but you're a family member, and we're waiting for you to show up at the reunion of God's people. We love you, but most importantly, the God of our salvation loves you. Have a magnificent weekend.